Physics. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank, some random fruit. Here he is.
Good evening, mostly comedians. My name is Frank Avocado O'Connor, and tonight, Avocado Theatre presents the one with Padraig Pearse and Paddington Bear, a satire on everything the Irish hold dear. Padraig Pearse, the Irish revolutionary, watched the smoke from his Carol's #1 cigarette rise to the ceiling of his Dublin tenement flat. He felt a strange sense of contentment. Perhaps it was the pallid sunshine streaming in through the windows, or else it was the head of his lover, Paddington Bear, nestled in the crook of his revolutionary elbow. Padraig had a thought just then, and he decided to speak it out loud. Do you have any idea, Paddington, just what it is that attracts us to each other? Any idea at all? Paddington thought for a moment and said, "Is it because we're both strangers in our own lands? We feel a certain alienation, and we flee from ourselves and into each other?" "No," said Pearse, "I don't think so." Paddington, who was a diplomatic bear, said, "Well, I wonder what it could be then." "I think it's because we're both named after railway stations." Yes, said Paddington. You might be right. "So, what are we going to do today then, Paddington?" said Pearse. "Could we..." "Yes." "Maybe go..." "Yes." "And get..." "Yes." "A huge pile of..." "Yes." "Marmalade sandwiches?" "No," said Pearse. "Not again." Paddington was about to answer when at that moment the door of the tenement flat was kicked open and 3 armed gunmen burst in. "We're the Provos and we're fucking scary," said the first man, who was quite tall and wore a balaclava, sunglasses and carried a machine gun. "Lads," said Pearse, "what's the crack?" "That depends on whose crack we're talking about, Pearse," said the second gunman, who was much shorter than the first and very repressed, therefore extremely violent. In fact, he was almost ready to start a fight when he noticed his colleagues giggling at the word crack. "So," said the third gunman, "just what is it we hear about you and that bear?" Paddington nestled under the covers, hiding beside Pearse's knee. "Oh, now, lads," said Pearse, "does not love come in all shapes and sizes? Can a man not be free to love any cartoon character he wishes? I mean, what about Jerry Adams and Jemima Puddleduck?" "Oh, but she was lovely and tight and feathery," said the third man, who also had a beard that came through a hole in his balaclava. Too late. Before he could stop himself, he had started to sing-song, and as one, all the Provos started to sing. "Oh, she was lovely and tight and feathery, a lovely little duck. But she was taken by the British, a lovely little The poignant ending of their song was interrupted by Paddington, who, leaping up and diving at the gunmen to try and get something back from the pure honour of his love with Pearse. But he was too late. They picked up their guns and shot him. Paddington was thrown back against the wall, where he exploded into chunks of bear, splattering blood across the entire tenement apartment. "There, looks like your bear perving days are over, Pearse," said the first gunman. "Never," said Pearse. "There will be others." "There will not be others," said the second repressed gunman. "What are you going to do to crack the revolution, eh? Ah, fuck, I said crack again. "Actually, as it happens, I have a plan. I'm going to carve a hand out of styrofoam and put it on a large lever and hide it in a pram, pretend it's a baby, and then walk past Dublin Castle very fast. And as I get to the gate of Dublin Castle, I pull a little pulley mechanism and the hand extends, giving a rude gesture to the British before I run away." "That plan," said the third gunman, "is worthy of Collins himself." "Exactly," said the second gunman. "It's the stupidest plan I've ever heard. Why don't you just get a bunch of lads together and have a crack at the post office? Ah, fuck, fuck, fuck." At that moment, there was a knock on the door. And a polite, bespectacled writer entered, with a hat. "James Joyce," said Pearse. "Cosmic frogs." "Ah, Jesus now, Pearse, cosmic frogs to you, cosmic frogs to you. Squiddly-oo, squiddly-um. I just walked into a tenement apartment with an eruption of violence. This looks like a satire and everything the Irish hold dear." Pearse looked around at the three gunmen in his apartment, the bespectacled Irish writer, the remains of his lover splattered against the wall, the heavy sense of misguided religion around the curtains, and decided that yes, maybe indeed he was, inside, a satire and everything the Irish hold dear. "Ah, well, never mind," said Joyce. "I'll just wave my wand and make it all go away, just like the government did with all our money." Thank you.